Tax Pros, today I want to talk about what is a client file when it comes to due diligence. What I realize is a lot of tax pros do not realize what the terminology client file is. So, a client file is when you have all your clients' information in some type of file, whether it's digital or whether it's physical, and it's all in one place. Now, having a client file is very, very important because in the event of a due diligence examination, if you have to send the information to the IRS or if they come in your office, you want to have all documentation that shows that you are in compliance and that you did what you are supposed to do when it comes to qualifying your clients for due diligence. So some things that you possibly will have in your client file is a copy of the ID. If you collected the Social Security cards, copies of the Social Security cards. You will have the income statement. So any type of income statements that your client gave you in order to put on their tax return. So that includes W-2s, 1099s, if they're a small business, whatever information they gave you in reference to show their income and expenses for a small business. It's any documents that you relied on. Now, it's not law that you have to have documents, but if your clients give you documents like leases, medical records, daycare records, and you relied on that to qualify them for the credits, then you have to have a copy of those documents in your file. Also, any intake forms of information that you collected from the taxpayer, that should be in your client file. Now, do the tax return have to actually be in there? No, it doesn't, because in the event of an examination, the IRS will just review the tax return in your software. But you want to make you a due diligence client file. So what I see is a lot of tax pros having all that information in different places, or I see a lot of tax pros not even collecting the information. They're not scanning it in so it can be in a digital file, and they're not making copies of it so it can be in a physical file. It doesn't matter what type of file you have, but you should have a client file in order to be due diligence compliance. For more tax tips and business tips, follow me at Gwinnetta Wright.